Say hi.
Hi, I'm Chef Whitney Aronoff, and I've partnered with Kinnaree to bring this recipe to YouTube with you guys today. So what I'm doing is sharing one of the recipes from my eCookbook, High Vibration Cooking. And this is Karla.
Hi.
She's the founder of Kinnaree. Kinnaree is a health, wellness, and activewear e-commerce site where you can go and buy beautiful fitness and activewear outfits, which I get to be modeling today.
Yes.
But it's also where there's information about really raising your vibration, taking your health and well-being to the next level. And so that's why it made so much sense to share this recipe with Kinnaree and the Starseed Kitchen community, and something special from my High Vibration cookbook, which is the recipes that I really prepare for my clients every week as a personal chef. So we're going to get started.
Okay.
So today we're making the Southwest chopped salad. So this is a great plant-based recipe that I make for a lot of my meal prep clients. It's really easy to add chicken or carne asada or grilled steak as you desire, but we're really going to break down the basics for you, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how I chop each vegetable, because how you slice the vegetable changes the way that it tastes. So if you start to get tired of certain vegetables, all you have to do is change the way you prepare it, and it'll taste a little bit differently every time. And then of course, we're using all organic ingredients today. Everything's super fresh, and that's a big part of high vibration cooking, of feeling good, because eating is really just a transfer of energy. So you have to decide, where do you want your energy to come from? What's the quality that you want that food to transfer into you? So obviously, living foods that ate from the earth, that were in the sunlight, that's harnessed that energy, that's going to be transferred into you. Food that I call dead food, lifeless food, would be anything that's in a package sitting on a shelf that never saw the light of day.
Absolutely.
Right?
I will not eat any of that kind of food. I will not allow my children to eat that food. I won't allow my friends or family to eat that food. Maybe I'm a control freak. I'm not sure.
No, so like a granola bar that's made from nuts and dried fruit still has life force energy in it, because that dried fruit and those nuts were in the sun at some point.
Okay.
Even like beef jerky, turkey jerky, ones that are made without tons of sugar and GMO soy, those are great for you too, from a different perspective, from a protein or paleo perspective, because again, it's coming from an animal that hopefully was grass-fed, grass-finished, that ate the earth, that was in the sunshine. That energy will be transferred to you. Now, if we're talking about, boxed macaroni and cheese, or a processed tortilla chip with natural flavors, now we're talking about food that doesn't have life force energy, that nothing's going to get transferred to you. It's just dead.
Got
so
it.
You
okay.
physically are going to feel almost like flatlined.
Yeah.
That's what we're really talking about, right?
Right. So essentially, I've always been interested in the concept of high vibrational eating.
Yeah.
To really understand it, would you say it's more of you're eating stuff, besides it being in the sun, it's somewhat still alive and it has its own life force? Is that what it means? Or could you explain it a little bit further?
It has a lot of meanings, but basically it's the energy of food. And so everything's vibrating and everything's alive on this planet. So the Japanese culture always has believed that their technology is alive, their cars are alive, that if you talk to them, if you tell them how much you appreciate them, they're going to work better for you.
Wow.
So it's really the concept that everything on this planet has a consciousness, is a living being, is breathing. Even your couch, your chair, your desk is breathing. If it's made from wood, it's still breathing. There's life force energy there.
Yeah.
So food has life force energy, and it's either an upward spiral or a downward spiral. And we only want to put things in our body that are an upward spiral, because that's the direction that we want to go. Right?
So yeah, absolutely. I mean, for myself, I've always, I've had a really healthy diet, but I think, sometimes you're forced, you don't really have access to a beautiful red pepper. You're on the road.
Yes.
What do? Like, there's only a fast food place open. What do you do to maintain this and constantly eat things that are good for you, when sometimes you have no choice but to
Yeah.
eat something that's really
Absolutely.
not good for you, right? What do you think, like somebody can do, on a daily basis? Like, for instance, I try to meal prep, things like that, because I'm always in my car, on the go, meeting clients, and it's like, if I don't have something like this to eat, I get too hungry and I won't eat fast food, so then I end up starving. But, so I think meal prepping has really helped me get through those moments, but it's really hard. Would you advise somebody to try that?
Yes, but you need to stop thinking that it's hard, because it's
You're
not. It's really easy.
You're right.
I've been doing it long before this was a trend. I've been doing this for 20 years, maybe even longer than that. I've been doing this since high school. So I grab a carrot. The carrot doesn't have to be sliced. I keep 3 or 4 carrots sometimes just in my bag, not sliced, not refrigerated.
Yeah.
They're fine. When I travel, I buy carrots.
That's amazing. Yes.
You can buy celery, you can buy a cucumber. I am a big fan of jicama, which we're gonna slice into today. It's obviously much more available in Southern California and Arizona, any of the border states to Mexico, because that's where it's grown and then where it's from. But sometimes with jicama you do have to prep it, and I always put it in a glass container because it stays longer in a refrigerator in glass. And maybe I'll transfer it to a reusable bag or a plastic bag when I'm on the go, but I always bring my own food with me. I always bring my own food with me. I bring my own food on the plane. I never eat the food at the airport or on the plane. To me, it's so easy.
Right.
Like, I don't know otherwise.
That's why we need you here. Thank you.
Well, I'm gonna get started and show you guys how to prepare this recipe. So I'm gonna do one salad so you can see how you can do it for yourself at home. The recipe on the eCookbook, High Vibration Cooking, makes it really easy for you to figure out if you're gonna make it for 1, 2, 3, or 4 people.
Okay.
The thing that you guys just need to know to make it really easy and make it feel like you're having a restaurant quality salad, and what I do for my clients, is you need a mixing bowl. There's a variety of different sizes, so I would get quite a few different sizes, and that's where you're gonna put the salad, all the ingredients, and then you're gonna toss it with tongs really well with your dressing, and then serve it on a plate or in a salad bowl, whatever works for you, and that's what's gonna make you feel like you're having a restaurant quality salad at home.
Okay.
But you're gonna need to control the ingredients, because at the end of the day, the answer to health is not being able to eat out at a restaurant that you've deemed healthy. Like, you are never gonna get the results you want until you are controlling the ingredients in your food, and your energy is transferring into that food, because you are preparing it in a positive, mental and physical state. Like, your attitude in the kitchen determines how good this is gonna taste, and the attitude of the people that are preparing your meal in a restaurant is going to determine how your food tastes.
That's an
all plays
incredible concept.
And at the end of the day, it's always nice to know what actually is going into your food, and you'll only ever know if you're doing it yourself.
Wow.
So
Amazing.
we're just going to jump on it. Okay, so I've already washed my romaine and dried it really well. So a fresh head of romaine here. You can see I wrapped it up in a paper towel to help dry it. I also use regular kitchen towels. And then I stack the leaves on top of each other like that. And I like to slice down the middle here. So that way I'm not getting shreds that are too long, so it's not getting too messy when I eat it. Because a great tip and a great thing to think about when you're slicing all your vegetables and any of your food is, what do I want it to be like when I actually eat the food? What am I getting on my fork? I want a little bit of everything, right?
Yes.
I want multiple flavors. I don't just want one tomato. I want a little tomato, I want a little of this, I want a little of that.
Yes.
So you have to think about, how is it going to fit in my mouth? How is it going to be on the fork?
Yes.
So that's why I'm doing smaller shreds. So you can see I sliced the romaine down the center, and then you can just stack it right on top of each other. And then I'm just gonna make shreds.
You have a very sharp knife, correct?
Yes, yes, knife is key, man.
A good chef's knife.
So you can see it's about 1/2 inch.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's how you do the shreds. I'm using a Mercer knife, so these are the same knives that I was given in my culinary program.
Oh, wow.
They're great kind of industrial use everyday knives. The end's rubber and soft. You can touch it and feel.
Oh wow!
So it's a lot.
You have a good grip.
It's a lot easier to use this over and over and over again because I'm doing obviously 8 hours in the kitchen. So it's really much lighter and easier on my hand. But so this is simply what we're doing. We're starting with the romaine. We're shredding it. If you want more nutrient dense salad, lettuce in this recipe, adding spinach is great, and just give it a rough chop. That's a really nice thing to add.
Or what about kale?
You can add some kale too. It's going to be a little harsher.
Right.
But you can add a little bit of like the curly kale.
Yeah.
Would be really nice.
I do love kale.
Yeah, I add spinach a lot with this.
Yes. It's easier, I can tell. Yeah, you're right. It's lighter.
Yeah. So
do you prefer using a wood cutting board as opposed to a plastic cutting board?
of course.
Can I get the answer to that?
No, you got it. But it's a great question.
A lot of people use a plastic cutting board.
I
right?
know, and then you get microplastic in your food.
Ooh, good to know.
I mean, there's a lot of things going on with food and kitchen and food prep that you just can't see. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
So, absolutely. You know, it's like with your hands. You know, you have to wash your hands before cooking, not just because your hands are dirty, but what lotion did you put on there? What perfume did you put on there? What chemicals have you touched? You don't want that in your food.
True,
you know? And technically, you don't want some of that stuff on your body.
Yeah.
You know? So
I tend to wear perfume.
Hey, but there's great essential oils and like there's perfumes now that are safe for the body.
Yes.
Just like I often, when I'm working in the kitchen for long hours, I'll just at the end of working, I'll put some olive oil on my hand and rub it on my hands and arms and wrists.
Wow.
Because you know it's perfect for our skin.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I have enough for a salad here. A nice big hearty salad. Next I'm going to add my red cabbage, and for me, no salad is complete without red cabbage.
Okay, can I just say, look at the color of this. So this is my interpretation of high vibrational food.
Yes.
Would be the color that each vegetable or fruit has.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's what gives it this life force. I mean, look at the color. You got to think that this is good for you, right?
So with the red bell peppers, or any bell pepper, it is one of the most heavily genetically modified foods on this planet. So that is definitely one of the items that you always have to buy organic.
Okay.
Same with romaine lettuce, and all lettuce always need to be organic. Unless you're shopping at a farmer's market, the cost of getting organic labeling is so ridiculous. It is really...
They make it hard for
It's
the farmers.
really a scheme. So always ask, just because they don't say organic, as long as they're doing organic practices, they aren't spraying pesticides or spraying the 20 to 25 pesticides that are outlawed for organic, or there's more than that. So let me back up here. When you buy organic food, it does not mean the food was not sprayed with pesticides. Organic only means that they are allowed to spray up to 25 different approved pesticides. Okay, so organic is not better, but it's still better than none. What you really need to do is find out the source and just make sure that they aren't spraying pesticides or are following organic or biodynamic practices. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's a complicated system right now that hopefully we'll be able to keep educating people on what's going on.
Yeah.
So don't always look for organic labeling. Look for following organic practices or following biodynamic practices. That verbiage I think is going to become more popular. But so usually with the cabbage, I shred it on a mandolin. But I wanted to show you guys today how to do it without a mandolin, just in case you don't have one at home. So again, it's just really thin shreds. It's really easy to do. Thin shreds. It's not perfect. You just do the best you can. And so I'm just going to go through, shred this, and then I'm going to slice what I shred in half, because again, I'm thinking about the fork. You don't want a super long strand and trying to shove it in your mouth. And then I give it a good toss. I like to give everything a good toss as I build it before I put the dressing on. Just to help everything get covered in the best possible way when it comes time for the dressing. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is the jicama. The best way to do a jicama is just with a knife, not with a peeler. You'll be sitting here all day long trying to peel it. It's just, go at it with a knife.
Please show me.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to know. I've always struggled with how to peel a
Super
jicama.
easy. I just go ahead and cut off the ends.
Okay.
And then you're just gonna work your way down the sides. You just are peeling it off. And then again, it's not perfect. And you're gonna lose some jicama. You know, it's all good.
Sometimes I would peel it with a knife, like my thumb and the knife. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
That works? Okay.
If you're doing like a little paring knife.
Yeah.
I've done that before too. I kind of approach each jicama differently because each one's a different size. I definitely always try to find the smaller ones because they're easier to handle. And then that way you're only slicing into what you need. Definitely look for jicama where you can actually touch the skin. Sometimes it's covered in wax.
Oh, gosh.
So
I had
avoid
no
the ones
idea.
that are covered in wax. They cover it in wax so it will last longer, but that's not better for you. The longer that it was from being in the ground, the less bionutrients are available to you. So, and then still when you're slicing, wax is getting on your cutting board, wax is getting on your knife, wax is probably getting on the food, and we don't want to eat wax.
Okay.
You know, it's not good for us.
Doesn't sound good.
Yeah, even though it's authorized by the FDA, it's edible wax, it's fine. No. We don't need wax in our food. We're good.
Yes.
Okay, so I've sliced it up. Again, you always want to just slice it to make it easier for you to slice. So if you can't get your vegetable or fruit balanced in a safe way on a cutting board where it's not going to roll over, then you need to slice it another way. And so I'm just going to make strips. So I'm thinking about, how do I want to eat this? 1 inch strip, 1 inch cubes is really nice. It's really easy to eat. You know, in the salad, we're putting corn and we're putting black beans. So we kind of want to slice everything around the same size so that it all goes well together.
Love that.
So
Okay.
think about, these are the things to kind of think about when you're preparing a meal. You don't have to overanalyze it, but it's just
No, chopped salad.
maybe this helps you better understand how chefs in restaurants create salads. Like these are the little things they're thinking about. You know, it's how does all the textures taste in my mouth.
Wow. And I love a really good chopped salad.
Right?
Right. And I never knew exactly how do they get it so perfect.
Oh, they just take their time.
Yeah.
They're not, well, that's not true. They are rushed to prepare everything and prep everything. But, you know, that's how. Okay, so again, I'm just breaking it down, doing little strips. It's really easy once you just take your time and do it the first time. See? Simple as that. Now we have all of our little pieces.
Perfect.
Right?
Perfect size.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I'm gonna put a little more in this salad just because jicama is just one of nature's blessings. This has always been one of my favorite snacks.
It's amazing. I like, I'm Latin, my family's from Mexico, so often I would put lemon juice on jicama with like chili pepper.
Yeah, or lime.
So good.
Yeah. This is like
salt, of course.
This is a really traditional snack or appetizer in Mexico,
Yeah.
which I love.
It's easy. And
And it's
inexpensive.
so good for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so jicama's done. Let's do our bell pepper next. So same concept. I'm just gonna slice off, 2 pieces. I'm gonna get this white kind of pith out. You don't have to. I just do it because it looks nicer, and it's just a bitter. You don't need it in there, but you can leave it if you're in a hurry. And again, just slicing it into similar size as the jicama. Just making little squares. Simple as that. Ta-da!
Beautiful.
And then same thing with the tomatoes. I'm just gonna slice a few up. Ooh, thank you.
You're welcome.
And you can use cherry tomatoes, you can use grape tomatoes, toy box tomatoes,
What are toy box tomatoes?
They're just another type of small tomato.
Okay.
Yeah, there's all different names for small tomatoes, so don't get caught up in the name. They're just different varieties. And tomatoes are such a great thing to purchase at the farmer's market. You know, if you think about like what to buy at the grocery store versus what to like splurge on at the farmer's markets, tomatoes is one of those.
I completely agree with you because anytime I buy them from the farmer's market, the flavor is so different.
Yeah.
So compared to let's say Whole Foods.
Yeah, because and they're so much more fresh because they were really just picked for the farmer's market.
Seems that way.
Yeah. You really get a burst of flavor in your mouth, and that's like really what it's all about. If you aren't enjoying your food, what's the point? And you can enjoy fresh food. Like this should be delicious.
Like a treat.
Yeah. So this is everything we've started to put together. We got our black beans, our corn, our tomato, our red bell pepper, our jicama, our shredded red cabbage, our romaine.
That looks
so beautiful. We're gonna add cilantro, and I like to add a lot of cilantro.
Love that.
So usually for me, I'll use like a half a bunch of cilantro, depending on the size, just in my salad alone.
Wow.
Like I crave cilantro, but cilantro is also a huge heavy metal cleanser. So if you're traveling, like whenever I travel and I'm going on a plane, or if I'm doing a long road trip, because when you're on a plane, you're exposed to lots of radiation, and nowadays with so much technology built into our cars that we can't turn off, you're exposed to so much radiation. So I like to always add cilantro to my salads whenever I do, whenever I travel, so my body just naturally gets it out of me.
You know, the effects of cilantro and all these herbs, though, that are so good for us.
Yeah.
And we should just try to incorporate it as much as we can, wherever we can.
So if you've checked out Starseed Kitchen, you know, my blog and my website, you'll see that all my recipes, all my salad recipes incorporate a fresh herb. Like fresh herbs really help bring the salad to life, bring the flavor to life. So here we go.
Wow, look at that. I like the combination of colors.
Yeah, I know.
That for me is the most attractive thing about it.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. What I did do is I made my salad dressing in advance, just so you, my friends, don't have to hear the roaring sound of a beautiful blender. But I usually make all my salad dressings in a Vitamix. That's my favorite high-speed blender. But use what you have. So this is a go-to salad dressing. I have a version of this on my blog. I have a version of this on the eCookbook. It is everything. It lasts for 2 weeks in the fridge because we're using fresh lemon juice. So this recipe is equal amounts lemon juice, olive oil, a whole avocado. I use the stems of the cilantro so nothing gets wasted.
Oh, lovely.
And a little sea salt.
Oh, perfect.
Because cilantro stems have the same exact flavor as the leaf.
Gotcha.
So you can use it all.
Yeah.
Like you don't waste a single part of the cilantro. So I always save the stems for making this dressing. And the great thing is it also works as a dip. So this works as a great dip with carrots and celery and bell pepper, jicama.
Can I smell it?
Yeah.
I like to smell.
Yeah, and then, you know, sometimes I just make it with just avocado. This is just, you know, without any herbs. It's just the avocado, the lemon juice, and the olive oil and sea salt.
So the avocado is what makes it creamy.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yes. So you'll see on Starseed Kitchen, there is a recipe called Whipped Lemon Vinaigrette. That is my go-to salad dressing. That's what I use for myself all the time. It is olive oil, lemon juice, sea salt. That one I add a clove of garlic. So these I did without garlic. But basically that dressing is great for everybody, especially for people that are following like a candida cleanse or a liver cleanse or really need to clean up their diet because there's no vinegar and the vinegar is sugar. So I always like to be very mindful of how often I use vinegar. So that's why the salad dressing is so great. It's so clean. It's great for anyone following strict candida diets or any detox.
And it's completely vegan.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, it's super great. And it's that lemon juice. And again, fresh lemon juice. Do not go buy a refrigerated lemon juice. You need to squeeze the lemon juice yourself. And if you
Do they still sell that?
Yes. Yeah, and this is the thing, when you go to a restaurant, most restaurants are not squeezing their lemon juice fresh and putting it into any ingredients. They're buying large cartons of lemon juice that have been sitting in plastic, and you don't want an acid sitting in plastic.
I never knew that.
So again, that's why this is always in a glass jar. I save all my glass jars. I don't want my salad dressing to be in plastic because there's acid in here. It's gonna erode.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna get plastic leaching into my food. And that's just no bueno. So I'm just gonna add some of the salad dressing on here. I like to dress everything kind of really lightly. And then you can add more as you desire. And then this is like the key to making it easy to toss and serve.
I like my chopped salad very creamy.
Okay, good to know. We'll add more dressing.
And this one's guilt-free, so.
It really is. Good call.
Oh, I think that's another thing. For me, like the concept of the high vibrational frequency,
Yeah.
I've struggled a lot with weight my whole life. That's why I work out like crazy. But I believe that your mental state while you're eating your food is really important.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that in my own life, like not to feel guilty about something. You know, and I think when we feel ashamed of what we're eating, that changes the frequency of the food.
Yeah.
I mean, if you agree
No,
with that.
it's really true. And I talked with Dr. Amelia Hardwick about this topic. You can find Dr. Amelia Hardwick. She's in a lot of different documentaries.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a therapist that is based in Southern California. And she has always taught that if you need a cookie, eat a cookie and appreciate it. Like choose the best cookie possible, the best quality you can find, but that fits what you're craving, and love every minute of it.
Yes.
And know you deserve it and enjoy it, and your body's gonna digest that a lot better. It's just like eating in front of the television. If you are distracted with your eyes and your mind, it's going to be too much on your body to also try to digest what you're putting into it.
Wow.
You know, you have to really simplify. You know, we are, as you guys I'm sure know, we're overstimulated.
Right.
Constantly.
Yes.
So we're wondering why we're having digestive problems. Is because stuff's going on everywhere as we're trying to put something in our body. Like, it's just too overwhelmed.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
But I hope you can see
Look,
we are all set.
That
This
looks
is it.
amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you can
Super
garnish with like
easy.
a little more cilantro on top. You can add, you know, some beautiful avocado slices.
Oh,
You know, anything else that you want to like make it visually appealing or pleasing to you.
Yummy.
But you're good to go.
Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank
I'll
you
just
guys.
eat the whole thing. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you
Thank you,
guys for
Whitney.
watching today. I hope this was helpful and educational for you guys, and you learned some cooking techniques, and this made it a little bit more approachable to try this salad or to get the eCookbook High Vibration Cooking. If you have any questions about the recipe, please comment below the video. If you have questions about Kinnaree, please comment below. I'll make sure that the link is in the video so you guys can easily access, you know, your website and learn
buy
more.
cute activewear. Right?
Yes,
Like,
yes.
while you're eating healthy and working out too.
Yes. Well, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time. Enjoy.
Wow. That's awesome. Very real.
Yeah,
Ready?
that was good.